Okay. So last meeting, I've shown you how to use include Bootstrap CSS and other files like other CSS like Font Awesome, and then there's also JavaScript, no? And then how to customize your own CSS. I have placed all the codes, no? All the codes that we have discussed next meeting is in our last meeting, no? Is in our declare site. For example, the login HTML Bootstrap CSS, ano natin, no? The login Bootstrap CSS, and then the HTML, the admin with a footer, with an admin footer. Okay, and how the homepage limits the access of the user admin, no? The admin functions to be limited to the admin user only. Do you follow? Now I've changed this a bit, no, because I didn't like the idea that the admin functions to be placed in the footer, because the disadvantage with the footer is as soon as your web page gets longer, it will be difficult to access the bottom of the web page. So one other approach is to create, no, a drop down menu. Okay, do you follow? You know what a drop down is? Let me show you that first, no. A drop down menu in the nav bar. Okay. And we can also control that nav bar using the behind code. Okay, ganito na. Do you follow? No? So tinanggal ko yung footer because I didn't like it. Although the original author puts it there, no? Okay. So tinanggal ko, if you look at that, no, the design of the home folder, there's only one footer left, no? I have removed the original footer, and then I placed a drop down menu. Let's run this first before I show you the code. So. Okay. Before I show you the code, let me run this first. No? So the idea is like this, no? So na dito may admin code, may admin drop down. Do you follow? No? So that if the user logs out as a plain user, logs in as a plain user, there's an admin menu, but there will be no choices. Okay? Do you follow? No? So ganun pa rin siya. Take note, the footer is here because we don't have a content. But the more content you place on the main page, the lower the footer will go, no? At the bottom. So it will be harder to access the footer. So we'd rather have a drop down, no? A drop down menu. Okay? So mas maganda itong ganito, no? Na merong admin menu. Do you follow? Okay, how did we do that? This is also another CSS. This is called a CSS drop-down class in Bootstrap, no? Let me show this. I have placed the class, no? The example in our, no? Okay. I've placed the example in our web page, class site, no? Ito, no? You can Google this in Bootstrap, no? This, okay? We can Google this as Bootstrap single drop down, okay? Ito, no? You have to do a little change, no? Ito lang yun, no? Do you follow? Do you follow? So there are two buttons actually. It's here. It's particularly this, no? Particularly this. Okay? So here's the actual CSS. I'd like to show you the actual CSS. Okay, it's a button, secondary button. Do you follow? It's here. Any questions? Do you follow? no? So it's on the, no? Okay. So what we've shown you is this. Now, I've placed the same buttons, no? I've transferred the same buttons, no? Okay. So that I remove them from the footer. Actually, just copy them to the drop-down menu, no? So it uses a UL. So this is the main class, the UL drop-down menu, the class which is a drop-down menu. There's also an important part there which is the drop-down divider. Okay. Now, this is the main class, and to have a button, you can have a div button group like this, no? Okay. Actually, there are two buttons here, the admin button and the toggle drop down. Let me show the toggle drop down. If you run this, okay, invalid login. If you run this, okay, there are two buttons. This is the toggle drop down. This one, this button, and this is a button which has no on-click event. Okay. Any questions so far? No? Do you follow? So walang on-click event. This is the drop-down divider. Do you follow? No? So ito yung toggle drop down. Okay? Okay? What will happen if, for example, you will remove? We will remark this, no? Paano nga mag-remark? Sorry, bakit hindi mag-ano yung, sorry. May, not here, no? Kaya pala mag-ano, my keyboard is in another place. Remark this, no? This is how to comment out. Replace this. Bakit kulang? Let me Google, no? Comment. Wala palang exclamation point ng kabila. I'm sorry, no? So, ganyan lang. Okay? If you comment that out, no? What happens? Sorry. Let me check this, no? First. Okay. So this is the toggle drop down. Okay. Okay. It's awkward if you don't place a label, okay, which looks like a button. No. So we will put another button beside it, which has no right beside it, no, which has no event handler, and we'll have a label. We'll assign it a label called admin. They have of the same type, no, BTN secondary. Where do we get this class buttons? We just get them from the Bootstrap website, no. You can Google them. Bootstrap button classes. Okay, so buttons in Bootstrap. So it's here, no. So ito yung, if you will get a BTN primary, no, you'll have a larger, no. You can click this. You can click this, no. BTN primary. This is the same type, no. You'll just have to change the types to BTN primary, secondary, or success, no. BTN danger is like this. Okay. Do you follow? So that's what we have. So we now have an admin drop-down menu. You can make any drop-down menu as you like. Now, sometimes a drop-down menu is useful because, not sometimes, but oftentimes, no, because it will save space in the screen, no, in your web page. Sorry. Okay, so instead of having a very long nav bar, you'll have shorter nav bars because you can classify them into drop-down menus like this. Okay, we will develop this, no, ourselves individually. Okay, any questions so far? So that's what we are now. What I'd like to introduce you today is another type of a web page which has a site master. Okay, but the problem with this is if you have a nav bar, when you go to about us, the whole page disappears. No, if you will go to home and you will have a home page, the whole page disappears. What we'll have to do is we will use a content placeholder such that your nav bars, no, and your bands, no, will remain here, and your content placeholder will be inside below between your navigation bar and your footer. Do you follow? Without you having to refresh the whole page. Just like React, no? Sa React, you can target a particular div which will refresh. Okay? But fortunately, no? Uh, uh, rather, ESP.NET or Visual Studio brings us a slight variation, no? Gives us a support. Although it fully supports React also, no? Where we can place a content placeholder that is the only part which is refreshed every time we choose a different rather as part in our page. Okay, do you follow? Any questions so far? Okay, uh, let's do that. It's called a web page or web project with a site master. Okay, let me close my, let's start from the beginning. No, let's start from the beginning. uh, so maggagawa tayo ng site master. Okay, so let's open Visual Studio. if, if you create a web page, no, we just continue without code, or we can just actually create new project already, no. Start from the beginning, no? Okay. Like the same time, we use an ASP.NET web application. We just go click next, no, and then our application name will be site master 01. Okay, and then we'll change the folder to the demos, no? Okay, so this is the name, and then we'll create. Now when we create, previously we created an empty project. This time we will create a web form. Now take note that the web form is checked here. Do you follow? Okay, let's go create. Okay, and we will transfer all our CSS and our bootstrap, okay, to this project, no. That's the first thing to do. Now what you have is a project with a web page. It has a default web page, no. Let's look at that, no. Ayan, no. Okay, we already have a default web page. Okay, and then we also do we have a contacts, no. Meron ng contacts, no. You can remove them anyway, no. Okay, okay, and then you will have a main web page which is called the site master. Do you follow? Do you get this? This is the site master. This is the main web page. Okay, and okay, it has a code behind also which you can control. However, the site master web page the, gives you a basic HTML where not the whole part of the HTML is available. Do you follow? Let's look at the site master. At the header, you will have an ASP placeholder. Okay, which means that this is the content placeholder. This is where uh, you can place your contents. You'll have another, no, in your in your do we have another placeholder? Let's write this. Okay. Okay. Let's run this anyway, no? So ito, no? Meron siyang ganito. Okay? Do you follow? Do you follow? And then take note, no? If you are going to click, no? Click apart, the header remains the same. Okay? To illustrate this process, we will put a footer. Let us borrow the footer that we have in our previous application. Okay? Let me close this first. So at the header, you have a placeholder. No? Where's the second placeholder? Now there's another second placeholder which is in here. Okay? Do you follow? Do you follow? Now let's look at the home page. No? This is the same nav bar we have. No? So for example, you have a home, rather a home page. The home page is what? Now this is the home page itself, no? Kasi walang laman, okay? Do you follow? And then we have an about page. This is the about page, okay? Do you follow? Do you follow? No? So ito lang yung, now for example, we are going to add a space in our in our in our in this in this page, no? In this project. So we'll say will li contacts, no? We'll copy this, no? We'll call this new page. Okay. So we'll add a new page, no? We'll say we'll go to the site. This is our solution. Okay. We right click, we add, okay, new item. And then we add a new web form. This one, no? Web form. And then what we have is a web form with a master page, no? Site 01 is the master page. Okay? So ito, ilalagyan natin ito ng let's look at contact.aspx. We'll just have to create this, no? Pihayin lang natin. No, I'm sorry, this is the, mali yung pagkadagdag ko, no? Let's delete this for the moment, no? I-remove from the project ko na lang, no? Exclude from project. Okay. What we'll do is add a new, we'll go here and then we have a new, no, I'm sorry, dapat hindi, it should not be a new web form, but it should be a content page. Do you follow? Okay. What's a content page? A content page is that page which will occur in the placeholder. Do you follow? In the content placeholder. Now, for example, I have here a content placeholder. No, in the header, eventually you will have a content placeholder. This is the first placeholder. No, and then uh, in the main page, which is the site master, you will have another content placeholder. They are identified by an ID. Okay? They follow. Ang target nito is yung ID. So, we have here the main content and we have the header. The first is wala siyang ID, no? But you can assign this an ID. Now, let's look at the about page. Okay? So, ito yung about page. It is a body content, okay, with a placeholder, no? And then the content placeholder is targeted as main content. Do you follow? Okay? Because actually in the site master, okay? In the site master, we can assign another content placeholder. Okay? So this is the site master. Site master ito. Okay. So walang pangalan yung header, walang pangalan. Okay? Then we will have ito ang the placeholder in the main body has a name called main content. We can copy this. And the header, we can assign this as, okay, ID as header content. Do you follow? No? Okay. So let's look at the about the about page. No. This is the source of the about page. It has a page for the body, the content placeholder called body content. It targets the no the now we can target also the header content. Okay. So we'll call this yeah, we can leave that the same, and then we can target the header content. Okay, do you follow? Okay, and this is what's this is the about page. This is the of about page, no? Lalagyan natin yan. And then in our we can use this in the header content. We can say this is the header. We can put a text, no? This is the header of the about page. Okay, do you follow? Any questions so far? Okay, let's run this. Walang error. Okay. May error tayo. So dito na, header content. Verify content. So that, let's look at the let's look at the site master. No, this is a placeholder. It should be a content holder. Content placeholder. Okay? Ito yung end niya. Okay? Content placeholder. Mali yung syntax, no? Let's just copy the placeholder here. This is the tab, no? We'll have this as the header. Header placeholder, no? Let's look at about header content. It's not, it should be header content. Where's my site? Okay. Let's run this anyway. So you can assign placeholders. So for example, if you go to the about page, no? So ito yung header content. This is the header of the about page. And this is the okay, this is the area of the page. Okay? Do you follow? No? Okay. So this is this concept is called content placeholders, no? Which means in your main page, you can assign certain areas to have variable contents. Okay? Hindi ko lang malaman kung bakit meron ito nakalagay. But anyway, we can disregard this for the moment. No? Okay? Which is in the header. Maybe we can remove this. We can move this upwards above the page title. Okay, for the moment, let's remove this. And if you remove a content placeholder in your about page, you will also have to remove the content, no? Because we have a header content and we have a main content. Okay? Which means that whatever you place there will be placed in the content placeholder called header content. Pero dinelete natin, we also have to delete this. Okay? Do you follow? No? Okay? Okay, you have a title, no? And then which you can, we can remove this actually, no? Okay. Do you follow? Any questions so far? Okay. Let us now, do we have font awesome? Meron tayong mga jQuery, no? It's old jQuery. Can we manage new ano? Manage new get contents, no? Let's find out if they will be ano, updated. Kasi luma yung kanyang nilagay na jQuery, it should be 3.6. Bootstrap. Okay. We'll have to go to 3.4 and jQuery 3.6. Okay, we update. Click okay. So, ang po-pre-install na naman niya. So, take note, it's updating. Okay. Let's look at the script. So, jQuery is now updated 3.6. We have a pooper. Okay, meron na tayong pooper. Okay. And then, do we have, let's look for the Bootstrap CSS. Meron ng Bootstrap, no? But we don't have a font awesome. Okay. So, maybe we can create a new folder. Say, font awesome. Okay, and then we copy it from our previous project. Okay. Dito sa ating ano, font awesome, it's here, no? We just Control A, then move it here. You have to do it this way, no? Because if you use the plain Windows Explorer, File Explorer, it will not copy properly. Okay. Now it's there, no? Now let's find out if nandiyan na. Let's look for the others. Bootstrap CSS. Siya naglagay nito eh because ano, we have added, it should be on a, it's in the content, no? Nandito yung mga CSS. Okay? And we have our own CSS, no? Site CSS. You can also rename this as content.css. Okay? So let's go to our site master. Okay? We will remove everything, no? Kasi hindi natin gusto yung ano eh. No? And we'll place tanggalin natin lahat, no? Hanggang sa form, no? Hanggang sa form. Okay? And then we'll retain this, no? The container body, which is a div, no? So we now have a div. We'll remove the footer. Okay? Do you follow? So we'll run this, no? Okay? Okay? So the main page, where did this come from? This is from our start page, no? Because in our project, we have a start page. Okay? Ang ating our web, it will have, of course, an assigned start page, no? So, no? Okay? If there's no start page, it will look for the first page. Anyway, we'll remove that for the moment. And what will we do? What we will do is copy our menu and our footer. Do you follow? And put it in the main site. Let me give you an example, okay? Ganito ang paggagawa, no? Kopyahin ko na lang, no? Para hindi tayo may matagalan mag-type. Now we also have to copy our many things, no? You have to copy many things here because we don't have a globals. Take note, wala tayong globals, no? And then look at our site master. Ito yung site master. Take note, no? Okay. Ito dapat ilalagay. We'll just copy this whole thing so we can identify uh, the text that we need, or rather the style sheets, the CSS that we need to include. Okay. Take note that here we have a main placeholder, and then before the main placeholder, we will create a menu. Okay. We'll just copy this. We also need to copy our images, no? Kasi wala tayong images dito. Do you follow? No? Okay. Okay. Do we have jQuery tables? Let me look at that, no? Problema, wala tayong jQuery tables. We'll find that out later, no? Merong data tables, no? You have data tables? Oh, nandyan ang jQuery. Now, what we don't have is our globals and our so wala yung global saka yung ating connection string. Okay? Do you follow? So first, we'll copy the globals. Nandito, no? Sa ating old project. Okay, where's it? Globals.cs. Okay. We'll copy. We'll just, I think we can copy it here. Meron na ba tayong, why do we have a globals.cs? Ano, this is an old, ano. This is just a sample, ano. This is a different project, no? I'm sorry. So I'm getting lost, no? So anyway, so ito, site master 01. Okay. So I'll save I have to save the video, no? It's going to end in 5 minutes. Likewise, we'll take a break. No, the usual, no? Because we are only limited to 40 minutes. I don't like to have an abrupt no, cut off. So I'll save the video and then I'll be back. Okay? Standard na natin yan, ha. Pag mag-warning na yung WebEx na you're going to end in 5 minutes, we might as well end and then go back right away. Okay?